Welcome to Bremen Feud. I'm Mr. Lynch, and we have a great show for you today. We have two teams full of all Bremen teachers. They are the Teaching Titans and the Education Express. Let's introduce the first team. Here for the Teaching Titans, we have Coach Verbal. Care to introduce yourself?
Well, I mean, what could be said about a legend like me, right?
Legend isn't the exact word I would like to use there. And we also have the very, very, very happy Miss Chalepis.
Bonjour, everybody. Thank you for inviting me. You guys are such awesome people. Woo!
Awesome isn't the exact word I'd use for this group of people. Anyways, on to Mr. Collins. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. And yourself?
I'm just living on a prayer.
On to the Education Express. We have the lovely Miss Obama here with us today.
What a pleasure it is to be here. I'm just so happy I don't have to deal with those aggravating freshmen. But what is Corey doing here?
Verbal was a little self-conscious coming without Corey, so we had to bring his little cookie pusher.
Get lost in the street.
Oh, believe me, I wish I could. Anyways, on to Coach Espo. Espo.
Can you hold on a minute? I got 8,000 miles left, dude.
And on to our last, and certainly not our least contestant, we have Mr. Dyke.
Oh, sorry, hold on just a minute.
What are you doing back there?
I'm polishing off my best picture of Mr. Ronald Reagan.
Let's get this over with. Our rules for today is, since we have a shortened staff here on this feud, we will only have 2 incorrect answers, and the other team will have the opportunity to steal. Starting off, each team, we will have the Education Express holding our red buzzer, and the Teaching Titans holding our green buzzer. One will buzz. If the answer is correct, he will have the opportunity to play or pass. If he passes, they will have the opportunity later to steal, which means they need only one correct answer that isn't already on the board, and they take the points. Can we have Coach Verbal and Coach Espo come on up for our first question? We surveyed 50 students. What do you spend the most money on? Coach Espo?
Protein.
Do we have protein up on the board? I'm sorry, but protein is incorrect. Coach Verbal?
How about ingredients for cookies?
Do we have food on the board? And food is correct. Verbal, do you care to play or... You want to buy some cookies? Please go sit down, Remy.
We'll play.
Moving over to the Teaching Titans. Miss Chalepis, what do students spend the most money on?
French items and 20 games of Guess Who.
I don't think anyone buys French items, and no one buys one game of Guess Who, let alone 20. But let's check the board anyways. I'm sorry, but you're incorrect, Mr. Chalepis. Mr. Collins, what do we got for you?
Is it going to be good old pentaethyl hydrate?
Do we see chemicals on the board? I'm sorry, Mr. Collins, but chemicals is incorrect. Moving over to the Education Express to see if they can steal. Coach Espo, what do kids spend the most money on?
Dumbbells. Rule number 1. Curls for the girls.
Do we have dumbbells up on the board? I'm sorry, Coach Espo, that is incorrect. And we end the first question with our Teaching Titans leading 13-0. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Today, we eat lunch in detention.
Welcome back to anyone who's still around, and to everyone who left, smart thinking. Can we have Ms. Chalepis and Mr. Dyke come on up for our next question? We surveyed 50 students. What is something that would make you turn down a job? Mr. Dyke?
Being too lazy to work for yourself like the rest of the world and not believing strongly enough in Reaganomics.
Do we have any of that on the board? Who in their right mind would put Reagan... Never mind. Do you care to pay or pass?
We're gonna play.
All right, on to the Education Express. Miss Obama, what is something that would make you turn down a job?
I'm gonna say when your coworkers are filthy animals and have no sense of personal hygiene.
Do we have personal hygiene on the board? Coworkers works too. And on to Coach Espo. Coach Espo, what do you got?
If treadmills weren't spread out within a yard or so I can get my cardio on.
Board? Sorry about that. I found out I couldn't leave because I apparently don't have a pass. The Education Express will be taking that question, and we will move on to our third and final question here. Can we have Miss Obama and Mr. Collins come on up for our last question? We surveyed 50 students. What is something you own that is possessed? Miss Obama?
My freshman.
Do we have freshmen on the board? I'm sorry, Miss Obama, that's incorrect. Mr. Collins?
This sick new AC/DC album I have on my phone. I'm on the highway.
Can we get a phone? And phone is correct. Do you care to play or pass?
I care to carry on my wayward son.
And we'll move over to the Teaching Titans. I have no idea what the order is anymore, so we'll just go to Ms. Chalepis for this one. Ms. Chalepis, what is something you swear is possessed?
Only the minds of negative people.
Do we have negative people on the board? I'm sorry, but that's incorrect. Coach Verbal, what is something you swear is possessed?
Well, let me tell you, these hands are possessed to make the greatest cookies of all time.
Board? And that is incorrect. Moving on to the Education Express here for the opportunity to steal and take the game. Coach Espo, what do you swear is possessed?
The only thing that I know is possessed is these ungodly biceps.
Board guy? And that wraps up all the time that we have for the show. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And be sure to check out anything that didn't make it on the show on our YouTube channel and our webpage.
Stop! Wait a minute. Feel their heart, there's no beat up in it. Use your ear, check their breath. Julio, are you dead? Call for help, 911. I want this guy to keep living. Use your hands and not your mouth. We're gonna go ahead and save a life. Put your arms out.
Arms out.
Lock your hands together, place on their chest between nipples.
Center chest.
Push down with your shoulders over your hands 100 times.
Per minute.
Yeah, use this song, push to the beat, push down.
2 inches. And let the chest fully recoil.
In between, compress until help arrives. Swap people if you get tired. AED, here's how to use it. Open it up and it'll talk to you.
Stay calm. Follow these voice instructions.
It's not that hard, you don't need no training. Don't get nervous, just pump. Ow!
Thank you so much for everyone who has viewed us throughout this entire year. We wish the best of luck to next year's TV Pro class, And sincerely, from the 2015 class of TV Pro, we would like to say goodbye.